What happens when you put some of the best anglers in the country on one of the most productive fisheries in America?
Oh my gosh! Giant!
That feels good.
It is!
Lake Champlain is the last stop of the season on the Walmart FLW Tour. It's the last chance to earn points and make it into the Forest Wood Cup. And it's when the 2016 Angler of the Year is decided.
I'm just trying to play the numbers game, and I know that if I keep setting the hook, eventually I might get that 4 or 5 pounds.
Momentum's real. You can't see it, but you can feel it. And anytime you have it, you're dangerous.
It's going to come down to one fish to decide who earns the trophy and a 6-figure cash prize.
$125,000 richer!
FLW starts now. Lake Champlain runs along the border between Vermont and New York, with the northern end crossing into Canada. The premier smallmouth fishery in North America, Champlain has 2 main areas that anglers concentrate on when they go looking for bass. One is to the north, the inland sea in Missisquoi Bay, where you can fish for bedding smallmouth in 8 to 12 feet of water. They are everywhere, and they range in size from 2.5 to 3.5 pounds. The other area of the lake is 70 miles to the south next to Fort Ticonderoga, and it's a shallow grass-filled area full of largemouth bass. Here, a patient angler can find a 5-pound bass and add some serious weight. Every year that FLW comes to Lake Champlain, the question is which area will prevail. Scott Martin has won on this lake twice by staying north and is leading here on the 3rd day. As the top 20 prepare for takeoff with a light breeze blowing, Andy Morgan is hoping to seal the deal on his 3rd Angler of the Year title. And to do it, he feels he will need to make the run south and seek out those big largemouth bass.
I didn't think I could catch anything to bump me over 17 pounds in the north. Ticonderoga, I see these guys bringing in the 20-pound bags. I mean, Ticonderoga is known for big largemouth, and these guys are starting to catch them. The wind's died down, everything's calmed down. If you want to catch a big bag, you know, it seemed to me that only made sense.
So I have one marked right over here by this seawall. I found it first day of practice, see if it's still there. That's one thing about finding these beds, you know, you just drop a waypoint on them, and that way you can navigate back to the same spot. If you try to remember where they are, it's basically impossible out here in open water like this. All right, let's see what we have here. I see one right up here. There's a boulder in the water, and so that's what I'm talking about. It's like there's nothing here. It's just flat bottom, kind of mossy, and there's a big boulder. It's about this big around, and there's a bed, and there's a nice fish bite. So I power pull down, and I'm gonna get my bait out, flip it in there, get right in the middle of that bed. Smallmouth are pretty aggressive, and you know, hopefully the fish will bite. Looks like a pretty good one. There she is. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a big one, dude. Thank you, Lord. Number 1. I love it when they get that. He choked it. Look at him. It's almost a 4-pounder. Right there, first fish of the day. I'm switching gears a little bit, going after smallmouth today. So hopefully my plan will work. I'm making some adjustments.
I have no idea if these fish are still here, but I found a few in practice and in competition and marked some of them in, so I'm coming back to see if I can catch a few of these. This one's probably gonna bite on first flip too. Here, she's getting ready to bite it. She's getting ready to bite it. Yes, baby. It's so fun catching these smallmouth off the bed. It really is. They're so aggressive. That might be one of those 3-4s, 3-4, which 3-4 is a big one, 3-pounder,
Typically, I love coming here for smallmouth. But over the last couple years, I've realized that smallmouth really don't win, and I'm in a position where I've got to try to win a tournament, and so for me to do that, I knew that largemouth was going to be the way to go. And where I'm fishing at, down at Ticonderoga, reminds me just like the Potomac. And I've done well there historically too. And if you look at a guy like Brian Schmidt, who does well all the time at the Potomac, he's doing well here too. So there's a lot of similarities. It's just a place where I'm comfortable with.
Jason Menninger, very analytical in his approach to tournaments. He studies results from past events to find patterns within patterns. And generally, he likes to fish for points, and he wouldn't even make the long run down to tie if it wasn't going to put him in a position to fish to his strengths. Jason hooks up with a nice fish here out of the thick grass, and he's having one of the strongest showings of the year here at Champlain. Andy Morgan has had a good year when it comes to fishing for points. When it comes to consistency, nobody on the FLW Tour can match the Livingston Lures Pro, who's on track to earn his 3rd Angler of the Year title.
Got one, Johnny.
I really didn't feel like I was in the hunt for Angler of the Year until Kentucky Lake. That's when it kind of dawned on me. I said, ooh, I'm really going to have to put the pressure on here now. It just kind of materialized. You know, I had 2 lackluster finishes. The first, Okeechobee and Hartwell, which were a couple of my favorite lakes. Then I got on a little tear, and I took it to the end.
Andy came into this 3rd day in 10th place, and as long as he finishes better than 17th, he will earn enough points to claim a 3rd AOY victory. Who will stay in the cut and fish a 4th and final day? On Champlain, it is often decided by just an ounce.
Wow! 5 bass limit. Your new leader.
On a day when he had to go to Plan B, Scott Martin proves why he's become one of the best at this sport.
16 pounds and 5 ounces. You got the lead, Scott.
Scott holds his lead for a 3rd day and is one step closer to winning once again on Champlain.
Your 3rd one in 4 years. Let's hear it for your new reigning Angler of the Year, Andy Morgan of Dayton, Tennessee.
You hate to see a good thing come to an end. I ended up having a great year, just like in 13, just like in 14. You hate to see that year come to a close because it's always when you're a fisherman and you're starting the season fresh, you want to get to that start because this year's ended. But when you're in the lead and you're fighting for the AOY, and it's all that pressure and it's all boiling down to the last day, which it always does, it was cool that it was over.
$100,000 richer for your 3rd Angler of the Year title. He joins Clark Wendlandt and David Dudley, the only 3 anglers to win it 3 times, Andy Morgan.
It's the final event of the regular season on the Walmart FLW Tour. Do not go away.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Minn Kota. Anywhere, anytime. You can get more from your oil with Quaker State. Costa Del Mar. See what's out there. Ranger Boats. Still building legends, one at a time. And by Power Pole. Swift, silent, secure.
It's a beautiful morning here in Plattsburgh, New York, as we get ready to start the 4th day of the regular season finale of the Walmart FLW Tour. This event presented by General Tire.
There's no other choice for me. You can probably catch 18 pounds of smallmouth, but you're kind of topped off there, and then you got to go find a largemouth bite. I don't care if there were 4-footers and we only had an hour and a half, 2 hours to fish. I mean, my best opportunity to win is down and tie, so I've got to go.
Today's going to be the same as I've done the previous 3 days. It's a 3-step process. We're gonna, step 1 is run down the Ticonderoga Road, step 2 is to catch the fish, and step 3 is to get back. So if we accomplish all 3, we'll be happy and we'll let it fall where it falls.
I need to catch a good bag. So I've got to bring my A game today. There's no sitting back trying to protect the lead. I mean, it's all about catching fish. When you've got the Dudleys and the Smiths and the Johnsons and just everybody in this top 10 can crack a big bag. So today's all about catching as many big fish as I can catch.
All 10 of the competitors have 8 hours to bring back their 5 best bass, but for the anglers headed south, at least 3 hours of that day will be spent just making the run down and back. Scott Martin is following the same formula that has produced 2 wins here for him. Stay close and hunt for smallmouth on the bed.
Oh yeah! They're everywhere. 3-pounder. Nice! I'll admit, this morning, going out boat number 1, really not knowing where I'm gonna catch them, because yesterday was a little off for me. I had some issues and had to kind of change rotation, and I wasn't real sure what I was gonna do today. I literally woke up in the middle of the night trying to figure out where I was gonna start, and I felt like, you know, I should run right back to my largemouth, but I had a couple smallmouth still on the beds, some 3-pounders, 3 1/4s, not too far from here. So I thought they were gonna be gone, and I pulled up on them this morning. It was real windy, and sure enough, they were still there. Nice! Woo! 3-pounder, number 1, baby. That feels good. I found this fish the first day of practice, which was like 8 days ago. Nice one.
When I'm sight fishing for smallmouth here, it is one of the easiest fish in the world to catch on the bed, because they have a pretty big area that they're protecting typically, and if you can get your bait somewhere close, you're gonna catch them. This is the one I think is the biggest one here. The cool thing about this place, if it looks like it should hold a bass, it does. Like, you can go over there and yes, you'll catch one, so that makes for fun fishing. There she is. That ain't her. That definitely ain't her. If I have to keep her, I'm in trouble, you know?
I love Champlain because it kind of my home lake in Japan, so I love Champlain. I just like, I grew up in kind of like lakes. I found one of key spots last hour yesterday. I went to there in this morning.
Shin Fukai isn't letting the windy conditions keep him from making some pinpoint accurate casts, and he's located some quality largemouth. This could be a real game changer for him today.
Last couple of days I was fishing up north and had a great first day with 21 pounds and then 17, and yesterday I had 15, and I was just running out of fish up north, and I think the maximum I can get there is 15, 16. So I decided to gamble, make the 70-mile run down here and hope to get 5 big bites, and hasn't gone the way I've wanted so far. We're about an hour in and I've missed one about 3 pounds on a frog. We're gonna see what we can do here. We're just getting into some good stuff. There's one.
First one.
Not giant, but it's a start.
I've been rotating through these little areas, these little milfoil points and hard spots, and been rotating through with just, you know, pitching a finesse worm up on the points, or after I do that, I'll go back and throw a wacky rig. Sometimes I'll do a creature bait. It's just kind of a rotation, and then I'll change colors up too. I've been going from June bug to green pumpkin. After I show them June bug for a little while, I'll change over and throw green pumpkin. Another good one. That's the kind you want on the last day on Lake Champlain.
Every day it's been different, man. I've had to flip, frog, swim jig, stick baits. I mean, it's almost like you let the fish tell you. You would think early in the morning you could catch a couple fish cruising around, you know. I swear these fish are locked on beds down here, man. Man, we ain't getting any action. Some fish there, but I can't make it work. Let's make a little move.
So Brian Schmidt, Chris Johnson, and Jason Meninger are the three anglers who are taking a gamble on Ty. And so far, that gamble is only paying off for one man, as Jason Meninger stays within a fish of Scott Martin. It's just getting started here on the final day of the Walmart FLW Tour, presented by General Tire.
Couple more of those.
I just saw a nice bass right there.
Might be something here.
It's just a little one.
Another bite.
That one cleaned my worm off, but see, that's good. These fish will replenish.
Taking a look at some of the action from the top 10 anglers fishing the fourth and final day of this Walmart FLW Tour season finale. Brian Schmidt felt good about making the run south, but so far this morning has been less than productive.
You're never out of it down here. You know, if you could get 12, 13 pounds, and at the end of the day catch a 2 5s or a 6 and a 5, you know, you're never out of it.
Me and Scott fish in the same area. Scott's 50 yards behind me. You know, we worked well with each other out here. I actually gained a pound on him yesterday, so it kind of puts things in a little bit of perspective of maybe I can, you know, come back. Nope, not a big one. It's so hard to judge smallmouth. I wish they could have been a little bit bigger, but you know, we're off to a start. We're gonna have to catch bigger ones than this if we're gonna come back. But I thought it was a better one.
It's been a good week here at Champlain. I'm in 9th place going into the final day. I'm gonna fish for smallmouth. Hopefully I can find some bigger ones. I'm gonna change up some areas. I think the wind's gonna blow a little bit more today, so they won't be as easy to see you as they have been the last few days. Hopefully I can put together 5 big quality bites today.
Starting to think I should have stayed up north because I could have got 13, 14, 15 pretty easy and a lot more bites. And too late to change your mind. Once you're committed, but might have made the wrong call this morning. I'm about to hit the panic button and start junk fishing, and I don't know, I got to put something together and do it real quick.
When I go down to Ticonderoga, I'm fishing grass mainly, and I'm basically going from the Ticonderoga ramp and further down past the fort is where I like to fish, all within 3 miles of the boat ramp down there. It seems to be the most population of fish, and I'm just fishing grass, flipping, and sometimes you can get on some hard structure. And I had one spot I wanted to fish, and it turns out there must have been fish on it because Meninger was fishing it, so I stayed away from him, and I could see him catching them, but I hope he does well. He deserves it.
You're gonna be a lot bigger.
I had an area that was probably about maybe 100 yards long, and I would just kind of weed through that area. And I had to fish very slow and methodically, more than I like to. Typically, I'm a guy that likes to run around. I'm a run and gun style kind of fisherman, but you know, in practice, I wasn't getting a lot of bites like you normally do down at Ty. Usually you can, pretty much everywhere you go down there, whether you're fishing grass or hard cover, you get a lot of bites. And as the tournament progressed, I kind of learned that, well, not only did I have to slow down, I had to lighten my weight up a lot too. And so I was throwing wacky rigs with nail weights. I was throwing 1/8 ounce weighted worms. And the heaviest I ever, even in the heavy wind, the heaviest I ever threw was like a 3/16 ounce.
That'll help. It's a little thin, but he's probably 2 3/4. But he's a lot bigger than that little smallmouth. Sure.
Glad I got rid of that smallmouth.
Over the years when I've been in the finals, I'm always the most nervous about the guys that run south to tie. In this tournament, no different. We've got 3 or 4 guys that went south. Those guys, they can jack a big bag. So my primary area, the spot that really shined this week was up in Missisquoi Bay. It was an offshore spot, shallow reef, had some rocks and grass mixed. And I really felt like that was gonna be my primary area. Now, in my best shot at a big bass, you know, a 4 to 5 pound fish. This little area right here is where I caught a lot of my good fish last time. So it was part of my winning plan. With the water falling and we're past the moon, water temperatures are rising, I felt like that area just keeps replenishing with fish. And so that was kind of my mindset, is use that as my primary area, especially for a big bite. That's help. That helps by about a half a pound.
I feel great. Being able to make a top 10 in my rookie year is just a blessing. I've had a lot of great memories with FLW already, winning the college national championship and getting Fish Forestwood Cup, but this is a new one for me and this is pretty amazing. I've been catching bedfish, smallmouth all tournament, weighed 15 of them, had 3 really good days, and I think I'm just gonna do the same. Ran out of most of my fish. I think I can grab 15 pounds pretty quick, but after that, I'm just gonna have to go grind them out and find some more big ones. We'll see what I can stumble across.
Austin Felix, one of the many young anglers who have taken advantage of the FLW college fishing program to make the jump into a professional fishing career. Making a top 10 in the final event of the season is certainly going to pay dividends for him with his sponsors and give him great confidence for next season.
This is taking entirely too long. I almost have caught 20 in here in like an hour. Everybody did as well, but I think that's the problem. They've been really hammered, you know what I mean? So I was hoping to pull in here and get my limit and be able to like kind of relax. And now, you know, it's crunch time. Number 1. Gotta start somewhere.
Brian Schmidt is staying committed to the southern end of Lake Champlain, as is Jason Menninger, and he's only 2 ounces behind Scott Martin. Will the gamble pay off? Stay tuned to the Walmart FLW Tour.
Oh, that's him, dude. Oh!
They do exist.
That was a 3 pounder.
Small fish, I mean, that's what you get at ties. You get fish that got little bellies on them and guts.
Lake Champlain is just full of fish, and we have some of the best anglers in the country trying to find the 5 biggest on this final day, this championship day of the Walmart FLW Tour presented by General Tire. It's been a battle between the north and south ends of the lake all day long.
Going down to Ticonderoga is a big gamble. The wind is a big issue here. If it blows 20, 30 miles an hour all of a sudden, there's times you can't get back from Ticonderoga because the waves get too big and it'll take you 3 or 4 hours to get back, so you just can't make it back to check-in. If you go up north, you can catch lots of fish within 10 minutes of the boat ramp, and you're probably gonna get 13, 14 pounds minimum every day. It's a gamble, and sometimes it pays off.
I'm gonna spend the rest of the day in here. I know they're around here. It's just not as quick as I was hoping, so I got 2.5 hours to get 3 or 4 good bites.
The stronger winds today kept just about everyone else up in the north end of Champlain. After all, this lake can get messy in a hurry when the winds pick up past 15 miles per hour. But Chris Johnston is joined by Jason Menninger and Brian Schmidt, braving the conditions and fishing down near Fort Ticonderoga.
Well, it's number 5, but it ain't much.
I need probably either a couple 4 1/2s or a 5 and a 3 3/4. If I can get, you know, an 8-pound average on 2 fish, that put me with an opportunity to win. And I've gotten those kind of bites every day, so, you know, I think they're still here.
Menninger is being patient, even though, as the wind picks up, his window of fishing starts to narrow.
There he is. Feels like a decent one. I can't tell though, this lighter line. Seems like he's hooked pretty good. Oh yeah, he looks pretty good. Oh man, don't do that, don't do that. Don't do that, don't do that. Oh yeah, yeah. That's one of those bites. That's one of those bites. One more of those. One more, and we'll have a fighting chance. Thank you, Lord. That's a blessing.
Shin Fukai has bucked the trend of most of the top 10 who are looking for smallmouth in Champlain's northern waters. He's found numerous largemouth bass down in the milfoil grass, and he's putting together a solid limit.
I was fishing about 5 to 6 foot water using same as drop shot. Oh, that's my secret.
Fukai's 7th keeper of the day is nearly 4 pounds, coming on a swimming Cinco. You know, the only angler more associated with the Cinco might be Gary Yamamoto himself.
You know, I've been trying to manage my nerves quite a bit the last couple days for sure. And I'll admit, this morning, going out boat number 1, really not knowing where I'm gonna catch them, because yesterday was a little off for me. I had some issues and had to kind of change rotation, and I wasn't real sure what I was gonna do today. I literally woke up in the middle of the night trying to figure out where I was gonna start. So I was a little nervous this morning. That's a good one there. That's a good one there. That's a good one there. Oh yeah, good fish. Good fish. Please, Lord. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo! That's almost a Rito bass for his birthday. His birthday's today. He's gonna be 16 years old. I need to win this tournament because he's gonna be wanting a car. He's a good kid. Well, all my kids are awesome. That's a good fish right there. That helps a lot. 3-7.
Champlain is typically a game of numbers, which means the more fish you can catch throughout the day, the better chances you have of catching that 3-8 or better, you know? So the more fish you catch, the better chance you have.
Dudley has been playing that numbers game all day long. He's just been finding 2-pounders more often than not. However, this fish right here might be a better class fish.
The thing about catching smallmouth on the bed, you don't have to really work them. Even though we got the wind, 3-foot waves crashing in here, she was still, as long as you can find the spot, you can typically catch them. And I looked and I found the spot that she was sitting at, and sure enough, she was there.
The numbers game is certainly working in Scott Martin's favor right now, as he maintains a slim lead over Jason Menninger, who is catching them good down south. We are in the final stretch here on beautiful Lake Champlain. It's the Walmart FLW Tour.
There's one. That one will help.
I don't think he's gonna help.
This is a game of set the hook, set the hook, set the hook, call.
David Dudley knows the name of the game. It's what has kept him near the top of the leaderboard every day of this Walmart FLW Tour season finale. Scott Martin is in the lead, and he's gone shallow to search for a kicker largemouth.
Thought he's bigger than that. I don't think he's gonna help me. Nah, it's not gonna help me. Well, I fish the FLW Tour because this is how I make a living. I mean, every check I make is what we live on, you know. And so to finish off the year, the regular season, with a good finish, first, second, third, whatever I end up, that's awesome. And it gives me that momentum and that little pep in my step to go into the championship this year, Forest Wood Cup on Lake Wheeler, and try to win a second Forest Wood Cup. Momentum's real. You can't see it. It's not running around everywhere, but you can feel it. And anytime you have it, you're dangerous. Oh my gosh, dude. This feels big. Yeah, it's a good one. That's that tree I fished yesterday. Kept missing them. That's over 3. I fished that tree yesterday, never had a bite. Nice. That helps a lot.
I'm gonna pretty much largemouth fish all day. That's the only chance I got of making some ground up. 7 pounds is a huge margin to make up on Lake Champlain, and I've never seen it done. But miracles do happen.
Wesley Strader came into this event hoping to lock up his 16th Forest Wood Cup appearance. He hasn't missed one since 2008. Making this top 10 guarantees that he will be fishing on Lake Wheeler. Brian Schmidt started the day in second place, and he made the 70-mile run south knowing that it was a gamble. Now, as the winds pick up, that means it'll take longer to run back, and he'll have less time to fish. And without a limit in his live well, he's fallen out of the top 5.
Come on, Brian. Just need old mama to hit it. They're stacked up. I just gotta get them. Golly day. Today, for me, the fish shrunk, I think, because I had leaned on my areas so much that I caught most of the big fish, and then a couple areas that I had saved, the wind took from me today. I couldn't even fish. 2 areas that I was really banking on were totally ruined by the wind. That Ticonderoga can give it, and it can take it. They might be here, dude. I caught a 5 here yesterday. That's 5. They're here. We might do something here.
Problem I got right now is that all the fish that I'm catching are, you know, in that 3 to 311 range, and I haven't got to the 4 to 5 pound range, and that's really what I need. And when I looked, a couple of them I looked at, I thought they were 4 pounders, and I weighed them and they weren't. So I mean, I really need a couple 5 pound bites to have a shot at this thing. It's a good one.
I knew that that area just had a lot of fish in it, so at some point in time I was going to have over 15 pounds. It was just a question of whether am I going to have 17 or am I going to have 19 pounds, you know? So I've had a lot of confidence in that area. There's just a lot of fish in there. I mean, we hauled a lot of weight off of that 100-yard stretch in 4 days.
That one will help a little bit.
70 miles of water and just 1 ounce of bass separates Jason Menninger from Scott Martin. We are headed toward a photo finish on this last event of the regular season. It's the Walmart FLW Tour on Lake Champlain, presented by General Tire.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. BRP Evinrude. Learn more at evinrude.com. Motor Guide. Trolling motors engineered for top anglers. Find, navigate, dominate with Lowrance HDS and Structure Scan 3D. GoPro. This is your life. Be a hero. And by Walmart. Save money, live better.
There he is. That's a fat one.
Got about a half hour left. There's one before I gotta go.
Unfortunately, I think they're gonna be biting for everybody.
Just need one donkey to hit.
So let's get caught up on the top 10 anglers fishing today out on magnificent Lake Champlain. Brian Schmidt, who started the day in second, has slid all the way down to seventh. David Dudley has been stuck in fourth place since the weekend cut, but this finish will help him achieve a bigger goal, one that every angler shoots for at the start of the season.
Yeah, they're biting a little bit. I'm hoping to catch one on your dock. I caught a big one there yesterday. Coming into Lake Champlain, I was 32nd in points, and I don't like playing numbers games when I get to the last tournament. I haven't been in that position, so my collar was a little tight on this tournament, knowing that I had to catch them to secure a berth in the cup. There he is. Oh gosh, yeah. I'm happy to come away with the top 10 and secure a cup, so that's an accomplishment in its own. Yes, that'll cool. Man, that's a short little fat little sucker. I think that thing will help. Man, I don't know. Be still, boys. Be still. Largemouth's heavier. Yep.
A former winner on this lake, Shin Fukai knows the largemouth are heavier. He's been targeting the greenfish all day long and is pushing 18 pounds for the day. Locked in on that milfoil grass, about 5 feet below the surface.
I flip it, then stuck it. Oh, it kind of grass. Oh, it's grass. It wasn't grass. It was 5 pounds.
What is this? What? Look at this. What?
I'm just going to keep milking it. I'm going to do figure eights. I mean, it's a great spot because it's just you can see this point, and it's a funnel, and right now the wind's blowing into it, so it's pushing bait up on it. They'll either sit behind it, on the opposite side of the wind, or they'll be right up on where the wind's blowing the bank, and that's where they're actively feeding. I think the fish that are here are just kind of, oh, there's a bite. Oh shoot, that happened the other day. I don't know if he's going to help or not. Oh yeah, he calls. Got rid of a thinner one.
Got about 20, 25 minutes. It's getting close. And I'm gonna leave it right down to the wire to get back to check-in. It's windy, and I don't know how bad the waves are gonna be when we hit that big lake at Champlain. As soon as it went through the canopy, I felt the tick and set the hook, and it's all you can do to get them out of that milfoil because they get all wrapped up.
Not a giant, but he'll help.
I knew when I set the hook it was a big one, and he came in pretty easy, thankfully, and I just flipped him in the boat.
That one will help. It's a good call.
Yes, indeed, a very nice last-minute call for Rookie of the Year Chris Johnston as we near the end of our competition time on the water. Scott Martin still has that 1 pound lead over Jason Menninger. Can he hold on to win for a third time on Champlain? Stay tuned.
Well, we need a 5-pounder.
We're out of here in 3 minutes.
Last cast.
The anglers who are fishing down near Fort Ticonderoga are going to have to start the long run north that could easily take more than an hour in these winds. But the pros who stayed on the north end have a little time left, and they're going to use every bit of it.
A
I'm able to pull this off, to win 3 of them here on this lake, I really love fishing this lake. I'm comfortable here. I feel like I understand it really good, and to be able to win 3 on this body of water would just be amazing. To win 3 FLW Tour events on any body of water is amazing. Got him. It's a giant, dude. But to be honest with you, there's so many guys that deserve this win. Jason Miniger, he's fishing with a purpose. His dad's a little ill, and if I can't win, I hope he does, because I want him to be able to take that trophy back home and show his dad that trophy, because I know he fished with a heavy heart this week, fishing hard for his dad. Thought he's bigger than that, but still a good one. That helps. Not by a lot, but a little bit.
I'm in the area where a lot of largemouth are at, and you know, it's not that I can target big ones, but I'm just coming up here to try to play the numbers game, and I know that if I keep setting the hook, eventually I might get that 4 or 5 pounder. Oh gosh. Uh-oh, Bubba. Uh-oh, Bubba. Yes! Yes! That's what we're after right there. Oh, it's got me tangled up in something. It's got me tangled up in something. No! 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 I still got him. Come on, baby. Yes. Yes! Woohoo! Dick on it! That's why I stay out here. Woo! Yes.
$125,000 on the line. Here we go. 5 today, 14 pounds and 2 ounces, 16 pounds and 2 ounces, 5 today for David Dudley. 15 pounds and 7 ounces.
Please welcome Shinichi Fukai.
His best stringer yet. 19 pounds and 10 ounces. You got the lead. 72 pounds even.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
One more, and we'll have a fighting chance.
Will you welcome Ranger Pros, Jason Miniger.
He made the trip to Ticonderoga today and fished for largemouth. We'll see if it paid off. To knock out Shin Fukai, you need 16 pounds and 1 ounce. 5 today, 17 pounds and 11 ounces. You're the new leader, 73 pounds, 10 ounces of Lake Champlain bass.
Nice. That feels good.
He's won over $2.5 million with FLW. 5 wins, 2 of them right here on Champlain. Nice. Former Cup champion. He's trying to win this thing wire to wire. Scott Martin to dethrone Jason Miniger. Claim your 3rd win on Lake Champlain. You need 15 pounds even. 15 even. A 5 bass limit for Scott Martin. 16 pounds even. Your champion is Scott Martin. His 3rd win on Lake Champlain. $125,000, Richard.
It's been a stressful 4 days. You know, when you're trying to defend, you get a little bit of a lead here. These guys are running to tie. Those guys can catch a big bag any moment. And I just fished with a purpose this week. But I'm so happy and so thankful to win this. Mom and Dad, you guys are watching. People that you know, there's a young kid in the neighborhood, take them fishing. Get out of the water, take them fishing. If they've never fished before, go by Walmart and get one of the kid caster rods. You can't even tangle the thing up. Cast it out there, let them catch a fish. Fishing is an unbelievable sport. And I tell you what, when you get up early in the morning, you watch that sunrise out there, you watch God's creation. It's a special thing. So take a kid fishing.
Your champion is Scott Martin. $125,000, Richard.
And there's never been any doubt about the talent Scott Martin possesses as a fisherman. And over the last few years, he's become one of the best in the world as he wins his record 5th victory on the Walmart FLW Tour. Thanks for watching our coverage of professional bass fishing at its finest.